What's going on, all you gospel gangsters out there? It's your big boy Aaron J to the C, and I'm back in the house with another brand new video. And welcome to this week's episode of Axios Media. Now, we're going to react to something and we're going to talk about some of the things that is taking place in the current world today. And it's not going to be very easy because we're going to talk about this because this person is really the most obnoxious, the most annoying, the most spoiled feminist celebrity ever. And I think you all know who I'm talking about. We're talking about Rachel Ziglar. Zigzag. What? Well, anyways, guys, we're going to have to look at this because it's been going on my suggestion list pretty much, and most of my young people want to talk about it, and they really are finding it a bit annoying, and they really just want to get this out of their chest. So I decided to make a video to talk about it, okay? Now we're going to look at what she really did that made a lot of hatred on her and a lot of backlash, and what Disney's about to do. Now, if you don't really know Rachel Ziglar, Zigzag, whatever you want to call her, all I want to do is that she's an actress that is going to play in the Disney Snow White movie that's coming out next year in 2024. Now, she's been getting a lot of backlash lately about what she's been saying in the comments. She's been saying about the character and the story that was first written in 1937 in an animated film. She really is, destroying this company, and she's really trying to make herself look out like she's the star and everybody must give her attention, while the movie itself is just completely bollocks. So I want to go on to this video and just let's have a look at what she has to say, and let's, review what she has done, all right?
Fans are growing more concerned about Disney's new Snow White remake, mostly because of what the lead actress has been saying to the press. Rachel Zegler has been described as a walking PR disaster for Disney's. We've heard her bag the classic story before, but there's more. There's always more. Let's have a listen.
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince, or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because we cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. Yeah. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
This is exactly why feminist woke movies should never be included in a classical movie, because first of all, Rachel Zegler was very grateful and very fortunate, and she should be thankful to Disney for actually choosing her out of all the 100 people who were supposed to be acting as Snow White, that she herself is actually acting as Snow White. And not only that, she actually said the co-actor, Prince Charming, I believe, and the guy named Andrew, I don't know what's his full name, but the name Andrew, he actually is inside. And then she praises him, but then later on saying that maybe they might cut his scenes, maybe they might just say that, it'll just be all about Snow White. And wow, I tell you, what a feminist, woke kind of situation that was. Now, first of all, if you're talking about, having more of Snow White, that's not a problem, but you're taking a classical movie that was created in 1937, the first ever animated classical movie that was, directed by Disney, is literally, you are saying that today in modern day society, it may be old, it may be an old classic, there's no doubt about that, but it's a memorable classic. It's a classical movie for a reason, and the reason why you are supposed to be acting in it is because it was a classical movie and because people love classical hits. But you going your way to say things like, maybe it's an old movie, we need to have a change, we need to make a little bit more modern, we need to have a, all about women, she's going to be independent, she's going to be perfect, she's not going to have any guy to disturb her. But the point is that we must come to a point and understand is this. Rachel Zegler said a lot of dumb things, and we really need to be careful in what we say to an audience of young children who are watching and looking up to her, because they can be influenced by that. And not only that, their whole childhood can be destroyed just by a celebrity saying that it's dumb, it's useless. I just can't believe what she's actually saying. And on top of that, she actually criticized the old movie, saying that a guy stalks Snow White, which I find it to be pretty weird because he wasn't stalking her. He happened to be hearing her singing beautifully, and he got captivated by the music and her singing, so he fell in love with her voice. And that's really, really something that you should be looking into, Rachel. Even though you don't like the movie, even though you don't like the old film, even though you say that you got scared from the film, but you really need to know your basic history before you could simply say nonsensical things on the interview, you know.
This is starting to sound nothing like Snow White. They've just got a character named Snow White, but the story seems to be entirely different. Joining me now to discuss Disney seemingly destroying another classic is Turning Point USA contributor Erin Elmore. Erin, we've heard these comments from the actress playing Snow White, who seems to have contempt for the original story and character.
Well, it seems as there's no appreciation for the Magic Kingdom and the original magic of Disney. You know, they're celebrating their 100th year of movie making. And instead of this woman talking about that and saying she's so proud to give her play on Snow White, she's trashing the original version, not paying any homage to history, and basically making it woke. And we all know how that goes. We've just seen several Disney movies. One, Stranger World in 2022, lost 147 million, and Elemental, their worst box office opening in 28 years.
Wow.
Wow. And I just don't understand, if they do want to have these woke themes and modern stories as they see them, then write a new one. Why take a classic and basically trash it where it doesn't resemble anything to what people want to see? I mean, that's why you go along to see Snow White, presumably.
That's exactly what is happening right now. I mean, she's basically trashing the film that she's playing in. Normally when you promote something, you're supposed to say nice things about the movie, like, I can't wait to play the character Snow White, or I can't wait for the director to add in the new features, the new details and whatever not. I mean, that's what you should do to promote the film. Instead, you're promoting it in a different angle. You're just saying, like, I hate the film, I hate the first film in 1937, and I hate the fact that I have to wear this dress. I hate the fact that I have to work so many hours, and I hate the fact that, you know, that the storyline is completely is changed because it didn't meet my expectations. I think we really need to come to a point and really understand that Rachel Ziegler really needs to learn how to be humble. In the Bible, it says in the book of Colossians, in chapter 3, verse 12 to 14, it says, "Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another." Now, Rachel Ziegler has forgotten how to be humble and to be grateful to the director and to the company Disney for actually allowing her to have this privilege of being the main character in a storybook that took place 100 years ago. So you have to understand that this is something that she has not been humble and not been grateful about. Maybe she's grateful, but she's not really humble enough to, like, you know, live out the character the way that they wanted it to be. You know, Snow White, I mean, in the storybooks, is known as a really beautiful, you know, elegant, kind, gentle person. And you see people like Rachel Ziegler, who is mean, who is, you know, belittling the company, who is really being, you know, offensive towards the things that's happening. And I just cannot believe that Disney hired this person, this actress, to be the main character for Snow White. Now we're going to look at one kind of a video that actually, she made an apology video, but it got taken down before I could download it. But anyways, we're going to react to it a little bit just to see how it looks like. After she said the interview, and many others, she basically got a lot of backlash, and a lot of people were sending her death threats. And let's just see how it turns out, and let's just see what kind of apology she had made that, you know, we all should be listening to.
Video is going to get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that because that's what my whole existence on the internet is just me being taken out of context. And stuff, which is fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it? But I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all. So when I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain. That's hard. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it. And
now we're going to look at another video where the interviewers, they did a podcast on this apology video, and let's just see how it looks like from here.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Right. Every time that a celebrity gets like one DM that says KYS, they're like, I'm getting death threats. Someone save me, but not a prince. Don't
anybody but a prince.
Don't you dare save me.
So she, like, when somebody, she's like, I'm getting these death threats, and the cops were like, well, save yourself. Like,
yeah, you're a girl
I saw
boss,
that.
aren't you?
I saw that interview. Save yourself. You'll be fine.
This is the reason why I've been trying to tell a lot of the young generation today, that feminism always think that they can deal without men. But you don't understand, majority of the people who you call for help are men, like police officers and construction workers and plumbers and so forth. But it's not just about that. It's just about, you know, she said that she never wanted to come out as ungrateful. Well, why didn't you be grateful enough to thank Disney and thank the directors and the casting crew for actually allowing you to act with them and along them? So that's why we need to be very careful. She said she didn't want to come out as ungrateful, but not only that, she even mentioned is that she's part of this controversial thing and she's been taken out of context. Nothing was taken out of context there, okay? Everything that you said, Rachel Ziegler, was absolutely on point, and you meant it with all of your heart, because you really did not think this through. Just because, how old is this girl anyway? How old is this girl? Dude, she's 22 years old. Dang! I mean, I had no idea she was that young. I mean, who knew? 22 years old and she can act like a complete spoiled brat. So this just goes to show, guys, that, you know, we really need to be careful in how we tread here, because, you know, if you're a celebrity and you're a young celebrity and you have a lot of fans who look up to you, I guess you really need to be careful in how you address yourself, how you carry yourself, and what kind of message you're sending out to the younger generation because of what you play as. Because she plays as a character that's supposed to be kind, loving, and gentle, and, you know, beautiful in not just on the outside but on the inside. And here she's acting like a complete spoiled brat. Like she needs to get paid more. She needs to like be better in her, like women need to be better in movies, and how, you know, Snow White doesn't need a man or anything. Well, the whole point of Snow White was she needed a Prince Charming to kiss her. So without Prince Charming, she wouldn't come to life. You know what I'm saying? She would still be, you know, sleep dead or dead sleeping, whatever you want to call it. She would still be dead sleeping if it weren't for the Prince Charming who came after and kissed her, okay? We really need to be very careful on how we storyline and, you know, predict the stories for the next generation, you know, because their childhood can get affected. Now, last, before we end this video, we're going to react to the trailer that has been uploaded like a couple of days ago. So we really need to see this, because a lot of people really hate Rachel Ziegler so much that they really wanted to boycott the entire film. I mean, I'm not going to watch the film because honestly, after what has happened, I'm just not going to do it. But let's just have a look at the trailer and what went down here. So let's just look at the trailer and let's just, you know, enjoy and see what they have done so far.
Once upon a time, in a world where magic reigns and destinies unfold, my story begins. I am Snow White, destined for a journey of courage, love, and self-discovery. Amidst treacherous paths and the looming darkness, I find strength within myself to confront the challenges that stand in my way. Guided by love and friendship, I will triumph over the shadows.
There's not much being shown of Snow White here. It's mostly just the architecture of everything.
Join me on this extraordinary journey as I rise above the darkness. Reclaim my kingdom and rewrite
As
the
you rise
pages
above
of
the
destiny.
darkness, what kind of Snow White is this? Okay, so far that was just one trailer. We're going to react to another trailer that's a little bit different, has different angles, so we can see how Snow White really looks like. So let's just have a look and see, alright guys? So let's just have a look and see, what lies ahead here. Whoa! Gal Gadot is beautiful, not gonna lie.
In a world where magic and reality entwine, my story unfolds.
Disney celebrating the 100th year. I hope they do it right.
Mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
She seeks eternal youth, while her mirror shows a threat in me.
Oh! That's her! That's her! Oh, I gotta go back. That's her! That's literally her! I can't believe it. Did you see? Snow White's supposed to be a character where, she's white as snow, meaning that her skin is fair. And look at her. Look at Rachel Zegler's appearance in here and look at her in real life. She's basically a Latina, whatever you want to call her. She's basically a brown skinned girl. And look at the character she's playing here. Literally white. So it just goes to show that really they had to do this perfectly for the character.
Choices redefine destiny in this clash of magic and will. Unity's strength brings life to the world. A reborn kingdom reflects love's enchantment. My tale unfolds where dreams and reality intertwine.
Wow, they had to really paint her skin white up. Yep, coming out next year. So far, just by looking at the trailer, we can't really predict what will happen. I mean, the trailer looks fine, but if there's a few things you need to know is that there's no mention of the Prince Charming. You don't see a glimpse of the 7 dwarfs. I don't know if Disney's going to change characters or find certain characters to put into the film, or maybe they might change Rachel Zegler's role and maybe they might fire her. We don't really know. But for Disney's 100th anniversary this year, they really need to be careful on who they choose to be the actress or to be the actor, because really Disney has had a reputation of having this magical, beautiful, fantasy kind of childhood-like feel. But with this kind of characters that are in real life who act so differently, I guess you can say they really need to be careful how they really go upon this, whether they recast the characters or whether they change the certain kind of scenes or clips or whatever, or whether Rachel Zegler's getting less pay and whatever, or whether she's gonna get a lot of backlash after the film's release. We don't know. All we can know is this. Last time they did do a Snow White and the Huntsman film, that was back I think 2018, 2016, about there. They did this with Chris Hemsworth and Charlize Theron. There was not really a Prince Charming there. There wasn't really a 7 dwarfs situation there. And Disney was not even involved in this movie. Now those kind of characters, it had a modern twist of an action feel to it. And that movie was quite good. It was so good that it spawned a second film. And it really did well. I would say that I think they did really well in the Snow White and the Huntsman film. But regarding to an old classic like Rachel Zegler's character, who is going back to the 1937 film, I guess you really need to be very careful in how you act as a person, how you act not just in the character itself that you're playing, but also how you act in real life. The Bible mentions something about how we should carry ourselves, how we should be an influence. If you read in the Bible in 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 12, it talks about we need to be an example, to the young generation, and we need to set an example, not just to the young generation, but to everybody who, look up to us, not just the kids, but to the young adults and even to the adults as well. So that's why when Rachel Zegler, a 22-year-old actress, came out and started bashing the film and start saying that it's not right, it's not up to her expectation, then why don't you direct your film, Rachel Zegler? Why don't you direct your own feminist film? And let's see how it turns out from there, okay? So that's all for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much for putting up with this video. Leave a like, share, favorite, subscribe, comment on the video too. Helps us to improve ourselves, and do subscribe to Axios Media for more videos. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.